All right, what's up there, Metal Summoners? As always, it is so great to see you guys. It is so awesome to hang out with you guys, kickstart your weekend right here in the middle of the week, live on your island of Misfit Toys. We really appreciate all the love and support that you show myself, Angel, and Steve with everything we get to do with this show, as well as, more importantly, all the love that you show to all of our great guests to allow us to have these great conversations about everything going on in their lives with their music, their bands, and everything in between. Tonight is no different. We're going to jump right into it. It is going to be a slightly shorter episode for you guys today, just based on schedules and previous obligations. So all of you Metal Summoners, just keep that in mind when you want to get your questions into the comments for everything that myself and Angel to see, to make sure that we can ask our amazing guest everything that you want to know about what's going on. But we're going to jump right into that. We've got Christian Murder joining us right now. We've got the Amatory Murder joining us right now. First and foremost, Christian, thank you so much, man. We really, really appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time this evening, and welcome to the Metal Summit. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to meet you guys.
Absolutely, man. First and foremost, absolutely. And again, we have it scrolling at the bottom. And to keep things, as current, would love, to talk a little bit about the highs and lows, unfortunately, of what's going on with the Amatory Murder right now, because you guys have had an unfortunate situation last week that you guys are working, rectifying. You've got the fans that are, aiding in any way that they can. But we'd love for you to talk a little bit about the situation and what you and the band are doing moving forward, of course, based solely on, how much you want to discuss.
Yeah. So if your listeners don't know, we came back from our Requiem tour, which seems to be, the shows are awesome, but it was like plagued with just like issues the whole time. Flat tires, switching cars, broken laptops, just things here and there. And it it all culminated with a smash and grab on the very last night. Our vehicle got broken into and our gear stolen while we were sleeping for 3 hours. So it happened very quickly. And so now we started this GoFundMe to try to recoup the expenses for some of this stuff. And so far, everyone has been awesome. I'm so blown away. The whole band is grateful. But yeah, it's just a really sucky situation. And I know it happens to so many bands, but when it happens to your band, it's like, what? Terrible feeling, very violating, but life goes on.
Absolutely. No, of course, man. Definitely. So Metal Summoners, of course, we do have that GoFundMe scrolling across the bottom. So if there's anything that you guys can do to help out the band, it would never, under any circumstances, of course, go unappreciated. So something for all of you guys to consider. Thank you so much, Angel. Anything for you guys there that you guys can help out with, just something to consider. Of course, again, just like Christian said, there have been situations like that in the past. A lot of us, especially in the scene, have probably had friends that have had those kind of unfortunate incidents happen to them. So just something for you guys to keep in mind. But no matter what, we really, really appreciate just the love and support, regardless, that you guys are showing Christian and his band, just by supporting him on the show this evening. So talk a little bit about how the formation of the band got together, Christian.
It started with me just kind of messing around in a basement with drum machines and guitars, and eventually I wanted to bring the music, live. I always wanted to be in a band like the Beatles with like camaraderie and that kind of thing, and worked with a few different people here and there, and finally met the guys that I'm creating the best music ever with. We just did our album, The Sounds of Seven Angels. And yeah, it just, I don't know, everything came together at the right time. I met the right people, friend of a friend, or try this guy, or, one of those things. And yeah, it came together very organically.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Where did the name come from?
So the name, means a murder committed in the heat of passion, because I feel that love can be very dark. Love can push you to be like hateful, you know.
Mhm.
Um, love can get you really angry, and love can be great too. But I just, you know, I think everyone's been in situations where they love someone so much that they wanted to kill them, or they got hurt by someone they love so much that they wanted to kill them. It just, you know, amatory is an old word for like romance and war. It's like very intertwined. I think it's derived originally from Latin, and yeah,
Nice, man.
murder committed in the name of passion.
Oh, right on, man. Reaper, what's up, brother? It is so great to have you tuning in and showing
Oh,
love to
dude,
Christian, man. You know, we love that our alumni Vicky's Dream are making an appearance tonight, man.
I love Reaper. We love Vicky's Dream. We have toured with them before. Oh my God. Can I just say, those are some of the nicest people. I mean, you know them.
Yeah,
They are some of the nicest people you will ever meet. You know, you meet a lot of like really, you meet some characters in music, and not always the nicest people, but Vicky's Dream are like genuine, down to earth, nice people. I love them so much. It's so good to see Reaper.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, thanks for hanging with us, brother, for sure. Absolutely. Angel, let's kick it over to you, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, with everything that has happened, just cannot thank you enough for coming on. And again, we're a rock community. When something like this happens, all of the bands can relate to it. As music fans, it pisses us off because no one's out on the road making an extreme amount of money. For somebody to do a smash and grab, that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
So, definitely asking people to please donate what you can. If you could donate $5, that's fine. Also, when the band comes to perform, please support them. Buy a ticket to the show, buy merch, which I plan to do November 15th. We can talk about that show coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, thank you to everyone that's helped. It's yeah, the smash and grab was really tough. Especially Jake, our guitarist. He was supposed to be here tonight, but he's got some personal stuff going on. I mean, they took his guitars. If you've ever seen us live, his guitars are beautiful, custom, headless. So that it really hurts me to know that my bandmates were like fucked, you know?
Yeah.
Because I love these guys. I love these guys like family, and I'm very grateful to be able to even say that, because a lot of bands don't have chemistry with each other, and that's definitely not the case with us. But yeah, we're putting together a bunch of dates for the fall, some of which are still in the works. I think we're gluttons for punishment, so we're gonna be hitting the South again. I think we're gonna be returning to Texas. We have Brewstock coming up in North Carolina in just a few weeks, which again, with this fundraiser, we're trying to recoup stuff so we can make that happen, because gas and everything these days is not cheap. And we're playing a hometown show in New York City on November 15th, which we're really excited about, because we haven't had a chance to play in New York since our record release back in June. So we're really looking forward to that. New York it's always fun to play your home, you know? It's always fun to come back home and see those people.
And you know what? What better way than to get your friends to come out to a show?
Yeah. 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 I love performing. I love performing. I keep talking about the love I have for my band, but I really it's so therapeutic for me. It's so therapeutic. And I think that's why, this smash and grab and stuff really kind of hit me hard, because I was like, oh man, you're fucking with my therapy now, you know?
Yeah.
But for all the negativity that happened, it's so beautiful to see people being so supportive, and like you guys said, the music community is really great, especially, oh my God, the last couple of days, especially if you go on social media, some horrible shit has been happening.
Yeah.
So to like see some cracks of light in humanity, that's so personal, feels good, and
Yeah.
makes me have more faith in people, in a world that seems sometimes faithless, you know. So
For sure. Yeah. What is the current status of the GoFundMe and the fundraiser? How is that going so far when it comes to recouping?
I mean, so far so good. I was actually really surprised with, yeah, I just put up a post like maybe last night or a couple of days ago because I was really shocked with how, it was our manager Stephanie that was like, you should do a GoFundMe and people want to help, and I was like, oh, okay, we'll try that. And I was really pleasantly surprised and humbled by how quickly people started donating. I mean, I went on social media and all my notifications, I couldn't even get through all of them. I think we're up to, I checked this morning, I think we're up to like over 4,000, and
Nice.
we had asked for 9,000. So, we're pretty good. I mean, I'm so grateful. We're so grateful. It's really, I don't know. It's just really nice. It's really nice feeling. And people have said so many amazing things. I think that's what I've carried with the most from this whole thing is like the nice things people have said online, publicly, and sharing the GoFundMe and talking about, the band's character and our work ethic. And it's really nice to hear, because you don't, when you're trying to do what we're doing, like you don't always hear like really great stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people want to, people you never even met, they want to, shit on you for whatever reason. But this was a lot of great people. There's a lot of great people. We know a lot of great people. Yeah, bands we've toured with, fans we've met in other states that we've only met a few times, people we've never even met, that were just like, oh man, I heard about you guys. I want to support. It's so, yeah, it's going well. I'm really happy. I'm really happy.
Awesome, man. Right on. Right back to you, Angel.
Actually, 4,100. Cool. But
Oh yeah.
Stephanie. Good. What's
Oh,
up, Stephanie? Thank you.
there she is. There's the brains behind the whole thing.
thank
And
you,
she,
Steph. I really appreciate you setting this up. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
she is amazing. We could not ask for a better manager. I mean, she is on it. She is on it. She
Yeah,
is
she got
on it.
back really quick, and then I forgot this morning that I never sent her the link, which I thought she was going to kill me for that. I'm sure.
Well, you didn't feel the wrath of the dragon. We call her the dragon because
Uh-oh.
she's she's got she's really sweet, really great, really professional, as I'm sure you guys can tell. But if you cross her or disrespectful, she turns into the dragon. So
Sorry for sending that 2 days late. Sorry. Better late than never, right?
yeah, I'm happy to be here. Oh man, but it's going good. I'm beyond words. I really am.
Very
so,
cool.
so you have the fall tour. Any plans they can talk about with music for 2026? Since it's right around the corner. Wow.
Yeah, it's really flies. Well, I know the rest of the year we're really going to be pushing the Sounds of Seven Angels, because that was one we really, even when we were releasing other records, we were working on this one. So that's like our main focus, but we have been kicking around some new ideas. So 2026 we'll be releasing some more stuff. We're big into concept albums. One of the things we talk about doing one day is like writing a musical,
Nice.
like an American Idiot, or The Wall. Although I feel like the Sounds of Seven Angels is our wall. But oh man, Austin, thank you so much, bro. That's really sweet. But yeah, we'll be releasing some new stuff. Jake came up with some tasty riffs the last couple of weeks, so we gotta finesse them and mold them together.
And so when it comes to putting the set list together, for a show, how do you guys decide, what to put on the set list, and what to exclude, basically?
That's a great question, man. When we're touring, it really sometimes it comes down to like we'll kind of feel out the vibe of the night, like what are the openers doing and what are, how's the crowd responding and are they into like, heavier stuff? Because we're pretty eclectic in our sound. So yeah, we'll kind of feel it out. We have this cover of I'm Afraid of Americans by Bowie. And it's one of those things that depending on what state you're in and who's president, you might play it, you might not play it. So, it's really feeling out the vibe of where you're at, but everyone loves rock music. So we definitely bring the rock stuff, but maybe for some shows we'll play like our song My Love, which is a little more bossa nova jazzy, you know. And other shows will be a little more industrial, but it's usually one of those kind of like spur of the moment things, like maybe right before we go on we like, hey guys, so I'm thinking this, what do you think? And I'll take that out, you know. And then other times, like when we had our record release show, it was like I'm like, again, I'm really into like concept albums and stage shows. So like I'll kind of like have like an idea of like what I want the show to look like. I'll get like, a bunch of projections together and like program lights and all that, So if it's something like that, then it's like, we planned it in like a week in advance.
Just create ask this question. When we ask this question, when bands are performing, do you prefer to be do you prefer to play as the opener, play in the middle, or be the headliner?
It really depends. We're not divas, so like, we're happy to play, if it's an awesome bill, yeah, we're happy to be the opener. If it's like we're playing somewhere and like the band is like, yo, like can you hop on our bill, we'll put you like right in the middle, like we're cool with that too. We just want to play, and also we're always looking for bands to like tour with us or like, hop on a bill when we're in other states. So anyone listening, if you're in a band and you like would like to play with us, hit up our manager, Morticia Murder, at Morticia Murder on Instagram.
We know we got Streetcar Revenge. They're like in the Connecticut area. We also know a promoter up in Boston as well, that we were talking about earlier. Just kind of bands to kind of hook up with, where they can open down in Brooklyn and vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's good to always be like open, I'm one of those people, maybe it's old school, but I really do believe that he knows a band. Yep, bro. So do we. Um, we're I'm one of those people that really believes in community, music community, and so I think as long as the lineup is kick ass, I don't think we really care where we are on it.
And just for the sake of time, just let people know we only have 10 minutes left. Again, we want to be respectful of their time because we want him to come back on the show. So we want to be respectful of his time. So he'll come back and I'll be like, nah, dude.
You'll forget the link again.
No, I'm having a really good time, guys.
Oh, of course. Christian, when you have the new album out, you've got Seven Angels out now. How have you and the band seen the response to be? Because of course, with new music out, new creative outlets, also just new feelings, the music that you write, the lyrics that get written can all change over time based on what's going on in your life at any given time. So when music is all put together for an overall release, whether it's individual singles or in this case, a full record, how is it for you putting out new music, but also how has the reception been since the album's release?
That's a great question. The reception's been really good. We did a few singles at first that we're very genre fluid, so we have a diversity in our sound, which I personally think is a good thing, especially in 2025. Like everyone kind of listens to everything now. So the reception's been really good. We had our first single, Velvet Noose, which is kind of funky, and that went over really well because it's like it echoes like 1970s dancey rock, that went over pretty well. And then we had Say Hey for Doomsday, which is kind of like a Nine Inch Nails esque thing, and that attracted another kind of demographic. And then other songs, it was like when people saw them live, they were like, "Oh wow, I got to get this album." We have the closing track on the album is called Revelation, and it's like 9 minutes long, so it's like this like journey. And when people saw us do that live for the first time, they were like, "Whoa," and then we moved some more units after that. So overall pretty positive. Some songs hit harder live, and some songs are, they pull you in right away when you see, the lyric video or whatever.
For sure, absolutely. Were there songs that you found really translated well to the stage live that you weren't expecting to be in your set list necessarily? Something, songs that you might still that you would have still considered for live shows, but were there any like pleasant surprises where it's like, wow, this translates great live?
Yeah, that's another great question. Well, that song Revelation, because I was like, I don't know if we can. People lose attention sometimes when you do like a whole like, we're not a prog rock band. We're not Dream Theater. We're more like Muse and Nine Inch Nails and stuff like that. But I was pleasantly surprised with we were pleasantly surprised with Revelation, because it just feels like a journey playing it live. And then the other one is a song called Speakeasy, which I don't think we do anything on an album that's like filler or anything like that, but I didn't think that was going to be one that was going to be like that was going to translate so well in a live setting. But I was proven wrong. It's like one of the ones that like by the time we play that last chord, people are like, "Whoa," especially when we have a sax player sometimes, this dude Angelo, and when he's on it, man, live, like, people love a good sax, you know, especially the ladies, they love a good sax solo. So that one goes over pretty well, and I wasn't expecting that.
Right on. That's awesome, man. One of the songs that you guys released on as a single that just I really enjoyed myself, and when I saw the title, I was like, I need to investigate this song because the title of it is up my alley. So I was just wondering if there were any fun stories or anything you could tell me and the Metal Summoners about the "Crazy in a Coffin" song.
Oh, Crazy in a Coffin. Yeah, that was our EP
Yep.
from last year. Yeah, that was one of those. Um, so Binks, our bassist, is the resident post punk goth guy of the band, and he's like, "Man, I want to I want to have a song called Crazy in a Coffin on a Saturday night." I was like, "Okay," and then I kind of, I carry a notepad with me and I write all these lyrics about what I'm going through, or I tend to do a lot of spectating on like world events and internalizing them. And I kind of did that with that song, where I wrote about how I was feeling about a situation and how it made me feel claustrophobic, like I was crazy in a coffin. And that's how that got put together. Yeah.
That's awesome. No,
I always, I always thought it'd be cool to do like a music video of that one with like dancing zombies, like choreographed or something,
oh,
like
there you go.
like in Return of the Living Dead, in that graveyard scene.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. In fact, there's a con that I'm working because I do a horror talk show outside of TMS, and I cover a lot of horror events, with my co-host of that show, and they just announced one of the writer. I'm a huge Return of the Living Dead fan, and
Oh, okay.
they're bringing in John Russo, who's one of the writers of Return of the Living Dead, and I'm like, that's awesome. I cannot wait to meet him.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Oh, right on, man.
So that's definitely
Our
awesome.
manager's into horror movies, so she's gonna flip when she hears that.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. No problem, Stephanie. If you're still watching, hit me offline and stuff, and I'll get you fixed up with that show because we're a fun, cool little talk show. But we'll save that for another conversation because that's a different thing. TMS is now. And Angel, let's kick it back up to you, man, as we go around our last go round. So, Metal Summoners, yes, because of professional obligations, Christian is only with us for half an hour tonight. So it is last call for alcohol. Any final questions, comments, or just anything that you guys want to say to Christian about, support or just status in the band and all that fun stuff? Please go ahead and make sure that you pump it into the comments so we see it, and that way we can make sure that you guys are always heard. So go ahead, and Angel, why don't you kick us off for the final go round?
What is the craziest place you ever got an idea for a song?
The craziest place I ever got an idea for a song. Huh. New York in general is a crazy place.
Yeah, that's true.
I can just walk around New York. I mean, especially during the pandemic, I just would walk a lot and I just observed, and depending on what street you went down, it was a different story. I wrote a song years ago called Eleanor. When I used to live by the cemetery in Brooklyn called Greenwood Cemetery. And I remember I was hanging out there one night, and again, I'm a big Beatles fan, and I don't know why I just decided to take the song Eleanor Rigby and make Eleanor into like a punk girl in modern day who would hang out in cemeteries. And I wrote the lyrics as like a sequel to Eleanor Rigby. Nice. As a rock song, So that, I don't know that that's like necessarily crazy, although what was I doing sitting in a cemetery late at night?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
But man, I never thought about that with Eleanor Rigsby, like a sequel to the song.
Yeah, there's those songs, man. When you break them down, the Beatles got pretty dark, especially the John Lennon stuff. There's some like "She's So Heavy," all that stuff. It's, if you really read the lyrics, some of them are pretty tortured. So the inspiration is there,
Yeah.
I never looked at it that way, but you do make. I mean, I looked at Helter Skelter as like their darkest song, but
yeah, that's a pretty dark one too. Yeah, I don't know. So sometimes I draw inspiration from people I'm influenced by, like rock icons, stuff like that. But a lot of times it's just how I'm feeling. The Sounds of Seven Angels was definitely how I was feeling for a period of time.
So how did you come up with the title for the album? What?
I feel like in today's world, especially to echo back to what we were talking about earlier, where I was saying, like, you go online and you look on the news and it's just like people are so shitty to each other. And I felt that, the Sounds of Seven Angels is like the archetype. It's biblical. It's from Judaism, Christianity, Islam. And the album is pretty much our judgment. Like how will humanity be remembered? How did we treat each other? How did we treat each other when things were good? But how do we treat each other when things were scary, when things were bad, when we were scared? I think that's it's something that really weighs on me. It weighs on me, the way people treat each other when they don't treat each other good. It's like, oh my God, how can you do that? How can you do that to another human being? How can you say that about another human being? I'm sure we all have those moments.
Yeah.
And but then again, the fundraiser, like the yin and the yang, so the Sounds of Seven Angels was kind of like this up and down, and it ends with how do we treat each other? And I want to be remembered for being a positive person in people's lives, and I won't be dragged down by their negativity, if that makes sense.
It does, and like I said, kudos, to you guys because I mean, it would have been easy to fold. It would have been easy to say fuck it. But what got me about your statement was that you said the show was still going to go on, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because music is the one thing that can't be taken from us, and that's our truest expression. It's our joy in life, and I mean, we're not gonna stop just because someone tried to like fuck with our vibe. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, you're not gonna drag me down. You're not gonna stop me. Like bring bring it on. you know, I will write songs and perform till I'm dead. Like I don't know who the hell did this, but you think smashing the window of a rental vehicle and stealing our instruments is going to stop us? Good luck. That shows you don't know what jack shit about music and the love of music,
Yeah,
That's
and
that's the way I see it. Maybe I'm naive, but that's the way I see it.
No,
not,
for sure.
but like I said, November 15th, anybody tries anything, I'm kicking your ass.
We have good people around us. Look, that the situation was just dumb. It was dumb, and don't leave your shit in a vehicle, even if you're gonna be out of in the hotel for just a few hours. I mean, it was dumb. You get really tired. You don't think straight. It's the last night. You're trying to catch a flight. That's just don't do that stuff. Just watch your stuff. Take care of it. Always keep your eye on it.
Absolutely, for
Yeah.
sure. And as like a final little segment here before we let you continue on with the evening, because again, Christian, thank you so much for your time, and we really, really appreciate your courtesies. Let everybody know like what got you into music, who were like some of your inspirations to become a musician, and then bring us home by reminding everybody where they can find the fundraiser at, and also where the Amatory murder can be found as well.
Sure. Excuse me, I just burped.
Mhm.
I think, well, my parents were always playing music growing up. My my mom and my dad always had, like, when you're in the back of your car and they had the classic rock stations on, stuff like that. So I had a very good educational upbringing when it comes to being exposed to what I feel is good music, and an eclectic amount. You know, I always heard like Zeppelin playing or the Beatles, and my mom and dad liked Cat Stevens and Supertramp and just the Moody Blues. It's all over the spectrum. And then I got into Pink Floyd pretty heavily, and U2 and Nine Inch Nails and Nirvana and all that stuff. But it wasn't until my dad so my dad got really into that band Oasis,
Mhm.
and he started playing Oasis's album, and I liked that too. So then he bought us tickets to their concert like years ago, and I was like, I saw like, you know, that was the first time I saw like contemporary musicians like live, that were like in front of me, and I was like, I saw Liam Gallagher come out, and I was like, oh man, that looks like a good job. And then when I went to a U2 concert, and for anyone that doesn't even like U2, if you go to a U2 concert, you'll get it, because it is like a religious experience. I mean, it's a whole production, and the way that little Irish bastard just runs around the stage, man, like, and that voice. So that was really what made me want to be like a front man. Oasis made me want to be like a songwriter, and I was like, oh, they like the Beatles too. But Bono made me want to be a front man. And then you kind of go backwards and listen to like things that influenced them. So I got into like Depeche Mode.
Oh
Dave
yeah.
Gahan, I think, is an amazing frontman. Trent Reznor, I was like, oh man, this guy's channeling like the dark parts of love, and like, he was channeling this angst that I hadn't heard in music before.
Mhm.
So that's really what made me want to like get into music, and like start bands, and that whole thing. Um, and want to do it for like a living, which I knew was going to be hard. But like I decided at a very young age that I was going to keep trying till I couldn't anymore, because I think the worst thing you could have on your deathbed is regrets. And I don't want to have the regret of like, oh, if only I tried a little harder, maybe, you know? Yeah. And I think my bandmates, they share that feeling. They share that philosophy. Again, I'm very lucky to have them.
That's awesome for sure.
Yeah.
And before we let you tell everybody again where the fundraiser is and the and where the Amatory murder can be found as well, let everybody know real quick the members of your band.
Sure. So on bass guitar, we have Binks Noir. On lead guitar, we have Jake Hamowitz. And on drums, we have Scott Genovese. And these guys are, like I said, my brothers. I would take a bullet for any of them.
Nice. That's awesome, Christian. Again, man, thank you so much. And where can you be found?
So the fundraiser is on GoFundMe. You guys have that link below. And we are very active on Instagram. We love posting videos and photos and interacting with people there the most. Where our music is on Spotify, Apple Music. If you want to buy it, it's on Bandcamp. And yeah, those are pretty much the main platforms.
Awesome. Absolutely. Christian, man, thank you so much, man. The biggest thing, as always, that's the most important thing to myself and Angel when it comes to guests on the show, is always that you had a good time. You enjoyed yourself. You felt respected. You enjoyed the questions that were asked. And most importantly, you felt that this interview in any way, shape, or form can be beneficial to yourself and the Amatory Murders' continued success.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is one of the funnest interviews I ever did. I'm going to be honest. Thank you guys so much.
It's absolutely our pleasure, and we'd absolutely love to definitely have you back on the show. The band is all welcome. Everybody's welcome. So we really, really appreciate you again.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Metal Summoners, and thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate you guys tuning in, rocking out, hanging out with us as always tonight on this episode of the Metal Summit. Again, Christian let you guys all know where the Amatory Murder can be found, so please make sure that you guys are supporting them in any way, shape, or form, donating to the GoFundMe, or even just as something as simple, if you're unable to donate, even just something as simple as like sharing the GoFundMe, getting it out there, putting legs under it, getting it in front of as many eyes as possible can absolutely go a long way with the band, getting back what they lost, but also continuing it on to give us more live shows and more music. We really appreciate you guys so much. When it comes to supporting them, make sure that you're following them and subscribing to all of their channels as well as all of their socials. When it comes to the Metal Summit here, please make sure that you're following us on Facebook and YouTube in particular. That's where the interviews happen at. That's exactly where you're watching Christian right now. And so those are incredibly important pages to make sure that you guys are following. When it comes to what we do and you guys wanting to be fans, if you really dig what we do and you want to be kind of the first person that's kind of in the know, please follow us on Instagram. All of our guest announcements, all of our announcements in general come out on the Instagram page first, and then they filter out to all the rest of our socials. When it comes to Angel, he can be found at Angel Alamo 78 on Instagram. He can also be found on Facebook as well. Our beloved Psycho Steve, who works behind the scenes, you can find him at psychostevepresents.com, as well as the real Psycho Steve on Instagram. And when it comes to myself, I can be found on Instagram at salem.vampire, but you can also find me under Salem Vampire on Facebook as well. But we really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys all so much. Thank you for showing so much love and support to the Amatory Murder and Christian and everything. Again, Christian, thank you so much for allowing us a little extra minutes as well. We really, really appreciate you guys. Take care. Guest announcement over the weekend. It has been confirmed. We're looking forward to bringing back some TMS alumni. So that's what you guys get as a little teaser for next week's episode. Have a great rest of your week. Be good to each other. Have a fantastic weekend. And please keep supporting rock and metal music and everything that's going on. Get out, support live shows, support new music. Keep these guys out on the road. Be good. Have a great one. We'll see you guys in a week. Take care. Be good. As always,